Hello, today is a very good day because I have new TierTime printer. It's UP300 and this is the printer over here. It's quite a new printer from TierTime. It was released around half a year ago, but there is not a lot of information about it in the internet, so I would like to make a review for this printer. And of course, me being me, I will upgrade it to the silent mode, because this printer suffers from the same problem as the Cetus 3D MK2. So, spec-wise, it's a very nice printer. It can print all the materials: ABS, PLA, TPU. It has heated plate for the ABS. It has an enclosure for printing, so there is no currents of air will distort your print. It has filters, I think simple HEPA filter and activated carbon filter. So I hope it will release less ABS fumes from this printer. And yeah, it's very nice looking printer. It's a very good looking printer, and printing quality is quite good. Well, to be honest, it's nearly perfect for what I do and for what I need. I don't think you can get better prints in any other printer. But of course it has some pros and cons as usual. So let's dive in and see how this printer performs. So this printer comes with 3 different print heads. So one for TPU, one for PLA, and one for ABS. I think TPU has a different spring-loaded mechanism for feeding, but for PLA and ABS, it's similar design. So it is attached with a magnet for location and this plate, and it has single screw to change it out. It has different extruder head. It's with you don't change the complete head, you just change the tip. And it has PLA has this cooling solution and for the air, and ABS has a cutout to allow air go to the print or to go around the print, so you don't actively cool it. And it has 2 fans. Problem is they are not turned off when they don't need to be. Like when you finish the print and the temperature goes below a certain temperature, they're still on, so it's the major complaint for me. But I don't think the motors will get this hot that we need them, so I will have to check this out. And of course, yeah, so this is how it looks like, print heads. Now the print quality, this is in the PLA, so it looks perfect. I mean, this was printed with a raft, so it has this structure, but printing quality is extremely good. Well, just as good as in the Cetus 3D. And of course I put brass inserts for the screws. So this is it take I think around a day to print. It was on very slow feed rate, let's just say. And this is in ABS. Now this is a bit of cheating, because they give you this translucent ABS because it's a little bit translucent. You can't. You need to look very hard to see any lines in the print. So this looks perfect. I mean, in real world it looks just perfect. So, and of course it's ABS, so it has that temperature resistance. So all the parts look just perfect in this particular plastic. And I tested on the polycarbonates also. It looks very good, and they are extremely tough. These are the parts for my Cetus printer. This is for the limit switches, and this was printed again. This is a calibration coupe, and the height dimensional accuracy is very good, because of course height is dictated by the z-axis, and z-axis is the only axis that will basically have but when you're printing, you will always rub the printing head to the surface, so the dimensional accuracy in that axis is perfect. So it's exactly 10.00 millimeters. In upper axis, it's I think 100 microns off, but that's easy to correct in the software. And I finally don't have to use any rafts for the prints, because in Citrus printer, of course, I always like to use rafts because for me it's just better. But in this, you can adjust it. You can adjust the build plate with the screws in here. It's hard to focus, but here are the screws on the edges, so build plate is always perfectly leveled. So this is how it looks inside. So this is the air outlet for the ABS. So you can direct air to cool your print, or you direct it around if you find that it causes warping. So it has these simple linear guides. I think it's like brass on the brass inserts or something like that. And we have gate belts. So gates are, I think, the best belts for I think it's GT2 or something like that. Let me check. Yes, GT profile belts. So they are very nice. So TierTime uses a very high quality belts in this printer. And this is dual filtration system. So one is active carbon and the other is HEPA filter. And we have removable build plate. So this is so you can take it out. So what else? We have a nozzle calibration attachment. So basically, it's fixed height, and when you touch it, it will stop, and you know that it's aligned with glass. So it is like 0.2 millimeters above the glass all the time. It was working first time, and for now I don't know why it stopped working. So I have to sort this out, but I don't need it. Usually I will calibrate it by hand, and I get much better prints. And of course we have the servo with a touch probe in here. So when you press the calibrate button, the servo will bring out the leg, and it will touch in the various places on the glass, and it will calibrate itself out. So this printer can be calibrated directly for the software, but I always like to do it by hand. So it looks very nice inside. It has light and it has a second door. So one thing I don't like, it's like this belt, at least from this point of view. It's not aligned with a motor. I don't know why we cannot do that, but I don't know if it's going to fail or not, but this is how it came. Well, it works, and for now I will just keep it in that way. So yeah, this. Okay, regarding the build volume, it's a bit larger than the Citrus 3D MK2 version, extended version, only by a few centimeters. And one amazing thing, Citrus 3D MK2 extended version has much higher travel. I think it's 5 centimeters higher in height. But I used it. I never used this large, so the print I print it was placed like that, and it just came out perfect. So okay, so let's talk about pros and cons. So what good about this printer? Well, it's very well made. Construction is very good. It has rails on every axis, so it's much more rigid. So axis, I mean, in Citrus 3D, if power goes out, the print head will drop. So that's not nice. And this printer, it stops where the power goes. It also have what I also like. It has the filament detection mechanism. So I will show it. And there are limit switch, and it will detect if filaments is supplied for the print head. If not, it will stop the print. Because I hear the click when I feed the filament. This USB, I have no idea why. It's just a 5 volt, maybe for some lightning or camera or something like that. And well, one thing we could include in this printer, like a way to hold these extruder heads inside. That will be very nice touch, because we need to be put somewhere, so we have place for that. And also there is a filament holder in here, so let's go check this out. It's one thing I don't like. They could make this airtight, but well, so if the filament is moisture sensitive, you have to take it out. It has very nice spring-loaded mechanism and magnet-loaded. So you load from there. Okay, printer is very large, so you need a lot of space for this printer. It weighs 45 kilos, so it's very heavy compared to this tiny one. And I think it's because of all of this sheet material. So it's made from like 1.5 millimeter of the sheets of I don't know. It's not stainless steel. It's simple sheets of metal. But they are very thick, and that's why they are very heavy, and we are using all of there. So yeah. And yeah, I'm going to make this printer quiet by using, again, dynamic drivers. So my plan for this printer is to put control on the fans, so there is no noise. Because when you enable this printer, let's just do that. Let's initialize the printer. That's very nice that you can do it from this window. So it just goes, it will lift, and it will go in there. And as you can see, fans are always on. And it's very pronounced motor noise, because it has a cavity to resonate. So we go into the resonance, some kind of resonance mode with a case, and we just sound quite horrible. So this board I designed exactly for this printer will connect to the controller, and I will have to attach the motors for the axis, and it will have to work just fine. And this circuit also tracks if steps are generated, and if steps are generated, it will put motor drivers in the high current state. If for I think 3 minutes no step pulses are generated for a few axes, it will simply cut out the power by half or by third. I don't recall exact values. So motors will not go in heat. And but good, also motor position will not be lost. So everything is just perfect. And when the first step rising as when processor will see first rising edge on the step, I think on 2 axis, it will initiate the full current mode in the matter of microseconds. So this will be mounted inside the back, and yeah. This printer will be again perfect, like this little fellow. It's for PLA. I think I will not going to buy any printer for that. It's perfect. It's quiet. You can leave it in the room. And this printer, as you can hear, it's quite loud. And also, I would not recommend to use this printer in your like living room, because due to the ABS due to ABS printing, there is a lot of fumes generated, and they are a bit toxic, and you will get headaches and something like that. Yeah, so okay, let's go to the user manual. So you can calibrate the printer. We can do it like that. And let's go to auto. So it will bring the z-axis. Oh, it's for nozzle, so it will fail. Sorry. And it's very slow. And if you listen, the motor is not turning all the time. Like stepper modules are not capable of doing that. Yep, it failed. So yeah, for I don't know why my nozzle detection is failing. Okay, so let's go back and so initialize printer. It's initializing to the correct reference. Okay, so it will go down to the limit switch. It will go to the side and to the that side. Okay, and it will always prompt you to the print next model. So in the print menu, this is what I was printing. In configuration, you can connect to the Wi-Fi. So the sound is for the buzzer when you touch it. So now it doesn't have a sound. Preheat, I would recommend to keep it always on because it's very slow process. And the private, so only you can access with a password. And also you can go to the Wi-Fi, and it will basically search for all the Wi-Fi networks in your area. And when you select it, it will go to you will have to enter the password, and it will connect to your local network. So that's very. Oh, come on. Okay, let's try it again. Configuration and go. Come on, it's quite slow, to be honest. Oh, okay. So now it's searching for the Wi-Fi networks, and now it says it's connected to this particular network. And when you press it, you just type a password. Or you can connect to the LAN on the backside, but for me it's and of course you have USB to load. I think to load your project from here. So yeah, in here we have temperature from the extruder head, for the build plate, that we have Wi-Fi. This is unlocked, and this is how much filament in grams we have left. So it's 700 grams. And information, and okay, and the material. So this is where you when you change the extruder, you simply this is the profile. So you can go to the ABS. This is my custom profile. This is included ABS, come on, ABS plus, PLA, TPU, and my custom. So my custom is a higher temperature for the bed, and you can extrude and withdraw. So for ease of change, so you don't have to go to the computer. That's very nice to have. This is the main complaint on my Citrus, but I need to have a computer to calibrate it. But that's okay. So this is PLA printing on the glass surface with a degrees Celsius heated bed, and I'm using sugar for the to glue this model, and it works just fine, printing without any problems, without any distortions on the edges. So PLA part has finished printing, and here it is. It looks just perfect, and there is no raft. So, and it's because it's we can take this out. printer, and when it cools down, it should just pop off. And right now, it just stuck so hard. It's basically impossible to remove it. Yep, without breaking. So yeah, print quality is just perfect. No, I can't remove it. So when it's cooled down, it usually shrinks and come off very easily. So let's do that. So this is how it looks after removing. So it has that shiny back from glass, and because it was basically sugar, it's when I cool down with water, it just pop off and it's cleaned itself. So it was very easy to remove when it was cold. It just broke loose by itself. But shiny, and it's straight. So yeah, PLA with a glass surface and the sugar coating works very good. I highly recommend to use it. So no raft, so it saves a lot of material and a lot of printing time. And you can see the last print that I made on this glass. Yeah, so if you put sugar with a very even coating, you can get a better surface finish. But still, perfect print. This is 0.1 millimeter layer height, and it's set on fine. So yeah, PLA was just beautiful on this printer. So right now I'm printing 10mm cube in turbo mode. So I'm using the ABS coating on the glass. Basically, I just dissolve some filament into the acetone, and it works quite fine. The temperature of the glass is 120 degrees, and it's printing very nicely. It did stuck first time without any problems. It's very hard to see. And this is how the user interface looked like. So it says extruder temperature 100%, bed temperature 92%. It has Wi-Fi. It's unlocked, so anyone can access this printer. And we have 700 grams of ABS plastic. So it finished printing, and I can take the model out, and as you can see, it's perfect little cube. Oh, let's see, quite easy to take out. And yeah, this is how it looks like. Give me the manual focus. There you go. So simple cube, and well, it looks perfect because this is the filament, I guess, from the extruder when it's burned off from the black one. I don't know how it get there, but yeah, it looks nice. Just we have some burr on the when it stick to the glass. But yeah, that's perfect little cube. Let's see how the dimension accuracy is. So we have a calipers, and they're just measured. So it's a tiny bit under, and of course I can say that I'm not pushing it, but I'm pushing it quite hard. So yeah, 0.1 millimeter is short of the perfect, except for one axis. No, that's so dimensional accuracy is quite good, and height accuracy, height accuracy is perfect, because it's much easier to get this accuracy in height, because it basically levels the nozzle, and yeah, this is perfect. So height is perfect, and ideally you want to tune expansion coefficient in the slicer settings, and that's all, and you'll get perfect prints each time, every time. So ABS works very well on this printer. Of course I need to try much larger prints, but for these smalls, print like that, it's just perfect. So the conclusion about this printer, well, it's very well made. It has the all the hardware that you can think of. It has detection, so for the filament, it has heated build plate, it has different extruders, of course not two colors, but single color, that's usually fine for me. It's self-contained for most of the time, so you can see in the touch panel processes how much time left and so on. It has quite large build volume. So for this UP300 is 205, 255 and 225 in millimeters, while Cetus 3D MQ2 version is 180 by 280 by 180. So it can print higher models, but X and Y it's smaller by 2 and by 7 centimeters. Complaints, to be honest, there are basically two big complaints. The first big complaint is it's very noisy. So as you can imagine, I don't know why we can implement the simple on-off switch for the fan when you don't need it. Same goes for the motor fans. We can reduce the power, but I don't know why we did not bother to do that. So the first complaint. Second complaint is the glass board. It's, for me, it's doesn't work very well. I can show it to you. So this is how it looks like. So it is basically empty. Idea is maybe that you have it will print inside and it will stick, but for me it doesn't work. So, and if you turn it to the glass side, you have very poor contact. Again, it's very poor thermal contact. So what I'm going to do is change the PCB in this to aluminum, and I will glue the glass with a special epoxy, thermal epoxy, so that I will have much better thermal uniformity. And it's very slow heating. You need like 15 minutes to heat it up, and it not always reach the temperature that you preset, because I don't think it's very high power heater. So, and it costs a lot. Again, it's like 250. I mean 2,500 US dollars, around this price. So, if you are doing only PLA, and you don't need that large build volume, go for the Cetus printer. Now we have excellent options for the touch probes, heated plates, and so on. So we are very evolving in this. I hope we are planning to bring silent modes to this printer. It's €5 for single axis to change it, and in bulk, of course, it will be less. I don't know why we are not planning to do. If you want, I can help you out with this. It's very easy to do. I can design the PCB for you if you want, or tell you the registered hardware. Just use Trinamic drivers. We are much better. You will not get the higher, better print quality. That's just how FDM printer works. But you will get less noise, less vibration, and yeah. So, at the end, if you have a money and you have a space for this printer, and you need that extra volume and the extra materials, ABS and TPU, well, it's an option. It's quite expensive option, but usually these type of printers goes around to $2,000. So. TierTime has a lot of competition in this area, but it's very good printer. But again, I will do silent mode for this printer, and I will include the fan controllers for this printer. So when you turn it off, it will be silent always. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon on the next video about this printer, when we try to make this quiet, and we'll see how much better this printer will become. So thank you and goodbye.